guessing that we have, in fact, through the course of this presentation, invited more questions than we have answered, because that's what we do. Luckily for you, we're now going to do a little bit of Q&A with principal lead writer Daniel Boris Ulgo Erickson. So, Daniel, come up on stage.
Now, as he comes up, I want to mention, those of you that got stickers on the way in that may have writing on the back of them, you can trade those in on the way out the door for this lovely piece of swag.
So, check your sticker, check the back. If it says something completely unintelligible, but that is yet writing, you just got one. Excellent. I think we have microphones in the aisles. I'm not sure if we do. Hopefully we do. And we probably also have some lights that are going to go up on those folks. There we go. Excellent. So here are the rules. Rules are, one question. If you try to ask a second question, I will make fun of your physical appearance. And rule number two, if you ask about Darth Revan, Daniel will make fun of your physical appearance, and he's a lot better at it than I am. So, there you go. Jump up, line up in the aisle. Let's get through as many questions as we possibly can here, folks.
Woohoo! Does the mic work?
Yes, it will.
Alright, before we even start that up, let's talk about this Boris Ulgo.
Absolutely.
They keep making fun of the Boris Ulgo because they're noobs.
Sorry.
For those who are KOTOR fans, crap! That's right! He taught us to wear pants! We will never be able to repay that. We would have been pantsless the entire game.
I think.
Alright, let's start on the right here. My right. I don't care about your right.
Wait. Okay. I was just wondering, are we going to be able to have different color lightsabers, like the black and silver?
So the question was, are we going to see some of the more unusual colored lightsabers, like the black and the silver? There is a broad spectrum of crystals available out in the galaxy. We have not made final plans on some of the more esoteric ones. They all have very specific canonical connotations as far as what they represent and how they come to be. So there are still discussions afoot. On the left.
I was wondering if there's going to be a lot of cross-class stuff, like bounty hunters being able to use lightsabers, that kind of thing?
Is there going to be a lot of cross-class stuff? The example given was bounty hunters using lightsabers. There will not be bounty hunters using lightsabers. There is a lot of cross-class, thank you. There will be a lot of cross-class story elements. There's a lot of stuff that happens between the pieces. As lead writer, one of my main jobs is to look at all the stuff that's happening interestingly between the different classes and see how to pull it together and pull together the bigger story. If you really want to know all the things that's happening in the Tor galaxy, you really want to play through all of the different classes, but we will not be giving bounty hunters lightsabers. Alright.
With the multiplayer conversation system, say there's something with lasting effect. If somebody else answers for me, is it buyer beware who I'm playing with? Or am I going to be able to fix that for my character?
So the question was multiplayer dialogue, which is something that people did realize was in there. So at some point today and yesterday in PAX, people started to realize, hey, it's not a demo. The whole game is here. And people started doing /invite, and all of a sudden we saw people in multiplayer dialogue. And the question was, I'm in multiplayer dialogue, and I lose. I lose the vote, right? We're trying to figure out whether we're going to do something dark side or light side, and I didn't get my way. Is it, as he said, buyer beware? Have you changed something in your game? Yes. Yes, you have. Now, one of the things that we're doing right now is the light side, dark side system goes by intention. So because you were the guy standing in front of the person saying, you know what, let's not kill him. We really don't need to kill this guy. You still get your light side points, even though Blaine already shot him in the head. This guy? Were we not going to kill this guy? One of the things we've already started to see through testing is that groups tend to pull together. I always use the Han Solo example. When we start out and we see Han Solo, he's clearly a dark side smuggler. He doesn't care about anybody. He's doing his own thing. But he kind of gets pushed into taking the light side quest, and it's like, okay, this once we'll save the princess. Alright, we'll fight the Death Star. Okay, by the end of the campaign, he's just light side. Right? He always plays with the light side group, so he said, alright, screw it, I'll be light side, I'm going to be a general, and I'm going to have kids. It's all right. But yes, what we've always tried to recreate is the real feel of playing with people. And what people keep asking is, if I play with people, will it change my experience? The answer is yes. This is the horrifying thing that happens when you go out and socialize with humans. So, is space combat going to be a rail shooter? Excuse me?
Is space combat just a rail shooter?
Space combat is a rail shooter. Well, we say tube shooter because a rail shooter technically sticks you in one place. A tube shooter, you have a lot more sort of move around. This is something that obviously the community, there are a lot of questions around. We came up with space combat the same way we came up with everything else. We took all the footage from all the movies and we put it together. And you guys are really into Star Wars. You know your movies, right? Yeah? Alright. So you guys remember that part where Han Solo and Chewbacca are in the Millennium Falcon? And then he's like, hey Chewie, let's go to space and let's just dick around. Let's just go off that direction and let's see if there's anything interesting just floating around randomly in space. And then you're going to get off and there was an asteroid and they mined the asteroid and they found some loot. And then they just kind of tooled around. We couldn't find that either. There's two things happen in space. One, you wanted to go somewhere and you went through hyperspace really fast. Bam! And you got there. Two, you wanted to go to a battle or you tried to go somewhere and someone stopped you. Boom! Uh-oh. Giant, exciting combat. Capital ships are coming out of hyperspace. Ships are everywhere. Everything's getting blown up. Everything is colorful, beautiful, huge things, and then we're done. And then we go on and do something else. And that is why we went for the space combat we did.
Movie moments is really what we're trying to deliver there.
On the right.